Science with Shriya.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Science with Shriya. This is Season 1, Episode 2 of Science with Shriya. So if you haven't watched Season 1, Episode 1, please go check out that video, and I hope that you will continue to watch my videos in this channel. The reason why I'm talking about science is because when I was in 5th grade, I used to love doing show and tell, and they were all based on science. So after the requests, I decided that I should make this channel called Science with Shriya. So please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get notifications when I post new videos. And also write some comments if you have any questions, suggestions for improvements, or just nice comments to say. I also created a web page that you can look at to quickly access my videos in order, and there are documents or PDFs associated with those so that you have a proper rating of whatever I talk about in my episodes, so you will be able to get an elaborate understanding of what I was saying. Some people who are watching this video might see this embedded, meaning that no matter how many times you click the full screen or minimize screen, you're gonna be having a big screen in your computer of me. So in order to actually go down and click the comments and click the subscribe button and like, in order to do all of those things, you would actually need to do 2 of these things that I'm mentioning right now, right here. If this isn't happening with you, then you can just skip ahead to today's episode. So one thing to do is to click on the YouTube logo in the bottom right corner. It's right next to the full screen icon or minimize screen icon, so you can click on that logo. Or you can go to the top left corner and you will be able to see my logo. And if you click on that logo, or what I see is a logo, if you click on the title basically of the video, you will be both of these will bring you to a link in YouTube, and you will be actually able to click the like button, subscribe, and actually write comments. So I just wanted to make sure that people who are watching the video that is embedded, or that has a video that is embedded, you know what to do. So now I finally said what I needed to say, and let's actually get started with today's episode. Once again, I hope that you have watched episode 1 where I talk about atoms. So before we even dive into what we're talking about today, let's refresh ourselves from what we talked about before. Atoms are extremely small particles, which is the basic building block for all matter. Atom consists of an inner core called the nucleus and is surrounded by electrons. The atomic nucleus usually consists of 2 basic subatomic particles, protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged particles, whereas neutrons are neutral charged particles. And they're both, again, the nucleus of an atom. Now, let's start with today's episode. Apart from elements, there are molecules, compounds, and mixtures. So, what are those? Some of the substances we use every day exists as free atoms. One such example is helium gas in birthday balloons. But many other atoms remain bound to atoms of the same kind or of different kinds with chemical bonds. Examples are oxygen gas that we need in order for us to be alive, which is a molecule consisting of 2 oxygen atoms. Or let's take another example of water, which is a molecule consisting of atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. Those are 2 different atoms. So a molecule is defined as an electrically neutral group of 2 or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. When a molecule is composed of atoms of different elements chemically bonded to one another, it is called a compound. So water is actually a compound, as its molecule is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. So What about mixtures? Mixtures are substances mixed together without chemically combining. The best example is the air we breathe. It is a mixture of element gases like nitrogen, oxygen, small amount of argon, and compound gases, such as carbon dioxide and water vapor. This brings us to what are different types of chemical bonds. One such bond is the ionic bond. Remember, ions are an electrically charged atom with an excess or deficiency of electrons. Ionic bonds are the complete transfer of valence electrons between atoms. There is another type of bond called a covalent bond. Water molecules is such an example. A covalent bond is the interatomic linkage that results from the sharing of an electron pair between two atoms. So if the atoms share one electron, it is called a single covalent bond. If they share two, it is called a double covalent bond. And they can share 3 electrons sometimes, and that would be called a triple covalent bond. That is the maximum they can share. Our water molecule has a single covalent bond, meaning that both hydrogen atoms share 1 electron with the oxygen atom. Now, let's look at the water molecule a little more deeply. There are a total of 10 electrons, 8 from the oxygen, 2 from the hydrogen, and 10 protons. Oxygen has 8 protons, and hydrogen has 2. Hence, the water molecule is neutral. But the 2 electrons form the 2 hydrogen atoms spend most of their time near the oxygen atom, as if they love the oxygen atom a little more. As electrons are negatively charged, due to this special love, the oxygen atoms take on a slightly negative charge, and the poor hydrogen atoms feels a little lonely and become slightly positive. This causes the bond between the oxygen and hydrogen to become polar. A polar bond is a covalent bond between 2 atoms where the electrons forming the bond are unequally distributed. So, the water molecule is a polar covalent bond. This makes water very unique and brings us the next type of bond called the hydrogen bond. If you look at this photo closely, the oxygen atom, which has a slightly negative charge, gets oriented with a hydrogen atom, which has a slightly positive charge. When water molecules orient themselves in this way, a weak attractive force called a hydrogen bond is formed. The hydrogen bond is a weak bond between 2 molecules resulting from an electrostatic attraction between a proton in one hydrogen molecule and an electronegative oxygen atom in the other. A hydrogen bond is much weaker than a covalent and ionic bond, but it is a unique bond, just for water. This makes water a liquid in room temperature, whereas carbon dioxide is a gas. Thank you so much for watching Season 1, Episode 2 of Science With Shriya. I hope you really enjoyed talking about chemical bonds and molecules along with compounds and mixtures, and you understood it pretty well enough to go to the next episode, which I will most probably be talking about the periodic table of elements. Please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new notifications when I post new videos, and in the comment section down below, write comments if you have any questions, suggestions for improvements, or just nice comments to say. I also created a web page that you can quickly access my videos and these documents to understand my videos more thoroughly. So, once again, again, thank you so much, and see you next time in Science with Shriya.
Science with Shriya.